Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Oh,
All right, coming live from 1950 South Shepherd from the tour office.
yep.
Well, today is Mental Health Monday, so why not bring on our mental health professional? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Christina Sharp, and I was the mental health specialist for 988, and now am the health education coordinator, but still doing the good work of 988 and referring people and getting out there and trying to just be positive with everybody.
I mean, she's definitely like one of the most reliable resources. I mean, that I feel like the tribe had to hold on to. Like,
Thank you, thank you,
I mean, she does a lot for our people, and I just want to say thank you for that.
thank
She's an honorary CNA now.
Honorary.
Honorary.
You're anti. You're almost anti status.
you. White auntie,
White
White
auntie.
auntie.
white
Yes.
auntie.
Well, we'll just leave off the white part.
No, that's when she gains more respect.
Yeah, that's when you.
They'll
Just
drop
gonna
off.
call her out.
Level up.
Yeah.
I
She
don't. We're
graduates.
not gonna, talk about the differences. We're gonna talk about it. It's just the lighting. It's just the lighting in here. That's
Just
all.
the
It
lighting. Yeah. It's just really bright.
is. Yeah. So, Mr. Chabada, did you have who's bringing the topic?
We just roll with whatever. Christina had her topic.
Christina has her topic.
Yeah, yeah. So, something I've been talking about with the kids a lot is boundaries and all the different boundaries we can have. Not just like physical boundaries, but mental boundaries, emotional boundaries, and making sure you're just like in a really safe space. Because sometimes we can distance ourselves, but we still end up wrapped up in the Facebook drama or he said, she said, or whatever. So it's hard to set that consistent boundary everywhere.
Definitely. You know, me being in recovery, that's one of the things that you learn about very early on is setting boundaries. I mean, with everyone, like with everyone, like it came in so many different forms that I've seen where, like Sunday when, or yesterday when, Nat's like, are we going to go anywhere? Are we going to do anything? And I'm like, everybody knows like I don't do nothing. like like that's like one of the things that I had to make apparent is like I'm not always down to kick it. You know what I mean? Like and that used to be a big thing for me because fear of missing out was like definitely a big, I remember I'd go knock on someone's door and their mom would answer like, you come over every day. Ain't you got a home? Like so like it's really like a huge deal to me to like be able to set healthy boundaries.
Yeah. And I think it's really hard to, when we're so busy like that, it's hard to see where our boundaries are at
Yeah.
because we're just constantly busy and pushing our own boundaries. So, especially like we talked about like inner circles and outer circles. And it's really hard to set those boundaries with those inner circles because we feel like, um, we can't say no to our best friend or our family
Yeah.
member or whatever. And we end up stealing so much of our own peace
Yes.
because of that.
Yeah.
Yes, because there are some comforts that they just instantly have access to. You know, I know for a long time, like I don't know, like the people that I shared the most with always seemed like the people that definitely would overlook my boundaries, take from me or just feel happy enough to, my stuff used to grow legs. I didn't even have that much stuff.
The phone
But,
charger.
yeah. Yeah, don't get me started. Yeah. But yes, boundaries is a good place to we should see if it's in the reflection book.
You want us to look up boundaries?
I mean, I don't know if it would be in there.
Listen, it is. It is. The teacher and me already found it.
Oh, well, look at
So-
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we were going through every page. Just
see, I
looking.
told you.
See, you should come on here more often. See, if only we asked every week.
Hey,
Yeah.
Reese.
Yeah, we only ask every week.
It's like Austin Powers. Whenever there's that guy that you ask him 3 times and then he has to answer, you just have to ask Christina to show up 3 times. And then
Yeah.
she'll show up.
Mhm. Okay, look, it's even like number 6. It's
Okay,
still
all right.
learning. Do you want me to read it for you?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Boundaries mean a line that marks the limits of an area, a dividing line. Words have power. They can hurt or they can heal. They can destroy or they can build. They can wound or they can heal. There are wounded people whose mission, it seems, is to hurt and control. But there are also people who are healers. They listen, they say the right things. Their words are healing words. We call these people either positive wizards or negative wizards. People that hurt us, it seems we let them until we take our power back. In recovery, we become aware of these 2 types of wizards. The negative wizards are sometimes people who say they love us. One time, I made a list of the negative wizards in my life. I decided to start setting boundaries for myself. I saw I was giving them the power to say words of hurt, and I believed and reacted to what they were saying to me. Working the 12 steps, I was able to look at my part, such as wanting to please people, not wanting to hurt them, being used to being criticized, feeling bad about myself, and more. In my recovery, I built this relationship with the Creator, and I decided I was no longer available to negative wizards. I set healthy boundaries. I drew a circle around myself and decided who I would let in and who would stay out. They didn't like it when I stuck up for myself, but I did.
That was a great
Good.
interpretation because as you were reading that, I started going through like what it looked like when I didn't know how to set boundaries, and I was a people pleaser. I always said I had like a 10 ring circus going on because of all the lies that I told. So, like, if I, put myself in a negative light and, you know, would people, just so other people could feel comfortable around me, I, I, I like to dumb myself down, then it just seems like all respect, all, just any kind of like positive feeling you have around that person just goes out the window. Whereas today, I understand who I am, and I don't have to be that person anymore. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And if somebody is uncomfortable with who I am today, that's not on me. That it just to me it just shows who they are. And it almost makes me feel like I remember being that person, and I just feel like it's hard for me not to feel like liberated, because of my awareness, because I've worked on myself enough to realize when I'm in the wrong, but I don't get like this overjoyed feeling like when you start realizing these things about other people, I don't look down on anybody by no means at all, but at the same time, I've learned to recognize these traits in people. And, I mean, I may see it all the time, but in the end, I mean, I just know that I'm not going to go back to who I used to be, where you know, this drunk tweaker just shows up and, like
Won't go home.
won't go home,
Just keeps the party going.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of made me feel good yesterday when that's like, where are we going? I'm like, everybody knows, like, I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing. Like, and you don't realize how long it took me to get there, to actually get there. And, as long as people know, like, don't let me come stumble around your house and eat up all your food because I sure will. But
But I see on the other side of things that people take advantage of people in recovery.
oh, definitely.
Because they use that guilt of like, well, you were using and you did this. And I've worked with a lot of kids that are, children of parents who use.
Mhm.
And it's always, well, I can treat you how I want to treat you because you weren't there for my childhood.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand. So I don't have to respect you. I don't have to listen to you. And, that's like a huge boundary crosser that I
Definitely.
see a lot in parents wanting to reconnect, but just having it thrown in their face.
Yeah, because it's that guilt.
Mhm.
That guilt, and your kid has resentments about this or that, but then they see the power in that, and they're always pushing it. They're always trying to see, what they get. I've been blessed enough to actually have my kids. I'm sure there's instances where I'm the dad that I have a bunch of daughters. It's hard for me to say no. But at the same time, they're not like, I don't feel like they're taking advantage of me. Maybe, can you buy me some laundry soap, or what I mean? Like, if it's something for my granddaughters, like, I'll always, do what I can. But, I feel blessed in that regards, but I know exactly what you mean, because that guilt and that shame of going through those things, and then them realizing, like, as long as I remained, I guess, as long as I remained, like, in my, like, they seen what I was doing, and they understood, like, I'm 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 not the dad that used to just be the pushover that just went along with everything. I actually got values. I stand for something, and if I got to stand alone, I mean, that's just something that I have to do. So.
Well, Nat just said, "Listen, I just wanted to know if I needed to brush my hair or not."
Please.
Yeah, just tell her yes anyway. Like, oh, we're just staying. I just want you to brush your hair.
Go do it in the bathroom, because your hair be everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You're not gonna have a ride home today.
Be all right. Be all right.
I think Natalie's needs to set some boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to say some, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Make a hair brushing section.
She's just gonna put you on her amends list just for that. I'm sorry for all the hair.
How do you feel about boundaries, Mr. Chabata?
They're important. I mean, you can see how much just basic things in your everyday life can affect your mental health or your emotions or anything. And so setting those internal boundaries of like what gets to you, what doesn't. So like I know the easy one is, Facebook, social media. It's so easy to get caught up in the drama, the arguing, and all you literally have to do is just move your thumb. And then like the problem's gone. Like you don't have to read into it or anything. And I think that's something that's takes time, because a lot of people do kind of like feed off of that,
Stir the pot.
yeah, that energy, that drama. But your life's a lot more mellow whenever you just scroll right past it. You just sit there,
Definitely.
just move.
I'm kind of stuck on that. Hitting more.
Yeah, yeah. See more comments. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just
View
go back to it,
profile.
filter it again. Yeah, yeah. Do the whole thing. But yeah, it just brings you a lot of peace whenever you can just scroll by something that, I mean, could be huge and outrageous, but you're just like, all right, well, I'm looking for my memes.
Yeah,
Like,
out of my
what do I
hands.
need? Yeah, if it, yeah, it's not directly related or anything. Kind of boundaries to yourself of like, I need this time to myself without focusing on work, focusing on anything. Like it, if it sounds selfish, it's probably what you need for self-care, right?
Self care.
Self-care is supposed to be selfish. It's supposed to be about your mental health. And yeah, and so like I I feel sometimes guilty, like, being at home, like my kids want to do something, but I'm like, I need like 10 minutes in the garage just to like breathe in exhaust fumes or something. I don't know. Like just give me some spray paint and I'll be fine. But no, just like crafting or anything is my thing. And that's like what stabilizes me, going to the gym in the morning. So it's all these little boundaries and like goals that you can set yourself, because you can just reword them into, I want to set a boundary for myself to get this time to my mental health, but you can just shift it to like, I want a goal to get, time for my mental health. And so whatever makes it easier for you to do, to be, mentally strong, I think it's a good thing to have.
In working, in doing different groups and rehab and stuff, we would do these boundary exercises, like how to approach somebody, when you're trying to set that boundary. And, most of the time, like you had to say something, like you had to express your emotion, and it was probably something that would make them uncomfortable. And just that alone would like cause this awkwardness, this awkward space, this awkward conversation. But, it seemed like once you're able to get past that and you can be honest, maybe with each other, like you know, it could be anything, like I don't like the smell of your feet. Well, I don't like the smell of, you know what I mean?
I don't like that your hair
Yeah.
is everywhere.
Yeah,
Natalie.
yeah.
Oh, we've had that talk.
Yeah. Waiting for what her rebuttal was. Yeah. Just waiting to see it in the comments. Yeah. 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 Putting hair everywhere.
But
Yeah.
it definitely takes practice.
Have
You know,
you ever try to express a boundary to somebody and then it turns into like, well, you did that and I did this. and,
that's what
like,
I mean.
It just becomes like a tit for tat type
Yeah.
of thing, and there's no resolution at all.
No.
I feel like it's so hard to have like conflict resolution because it's
Yeah,
just conflict.
just conflict.
Yeah. So I don't like. At what point do you feel like you have to set that physical boundary and be like, this isn't good. This isn't healthy.
To me, it always comes with some clarity. Like as long as I have my clarity and I'm able to process and just I'm always thinking in like some positive answers, a positive solution, like it's easy to stay on track like that. But then, if I say something that might offend them, like I've had that situation with my family, had them staying with me, and it was just like they were stay up all night and sleep all day, and it just became like they would get up and have dinner, but it was like their breakfast. And then in the middle of the night, they would cook another meal,
Sexual.
yeah. And, it just became like, it just got real unhealthy real fast, and because I didn't want them to leave because I cared about them so much and they didn't have nowhere else to go, I gave up my comfortability. I gave up my own space, to allow them to feel safe, have a place, And when it all came towards the end, they started having trouble with my kids, like just button heads, here and there. It just got to the point where it's like, man, we got to figure out something else. And then, my cousin, she came back and blew up, like, I love her, yeah, she's probably still mad at me, but, that's all right. Um, I would never go to her house, try to fight her kids, and you know what I mean? Like do all that, show up drunk, and
So you feel like comfortable in that decision.
yes. I mean, I in the end, it was the right decision because nobody got hurt. My family has a way of handling things that we'll be moving some furniture. So it feels good to actually just be able to walk away and get out of that whole situation because I mean, like I said, I love them. My brother and my sister. I mean, they're my first cousins, but we call each other brother and sister. And I still love them, still pray for them. And I know one day, once they get a solid ground under them, we'll be able to have this conversation. So I mean, it's just something that had to happen. I hated it, but at the same time, I mean, those boundaries definitely had to be set. And you got to stick to your guns.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it, is you got to stick to your guns. You, uh, because of that, I feel like I get to see my grandkids all the time now. without having to worry about, you know, because when you're in your addiction, I mean that always comes first. So it was tough, coming to work and not knowing what they're doing at my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stressed the whole time.
Yeah.
just-
Oh. Nobody even knew I had an apartment for like 6 months. That's how like I wanted my life that quiet. It felt good to just sit there and not have to worry about nothing. And
Find your own peace.
found my own peace, and then my bro ended up homeless, and I just felt like it was my duty to help him out because, he has a lot of health problems, but still in the game, and it was like me and my grandma had a conversation one time whenever, when as I got older, and she told me, she said, one of these days you're gonna have to take care of your brother. And it was almost like, you know, I wasn't gonna tell my grandma no, like this was her baby. You know what I mean? Like he never had to do anything because she didn't know how to set boundaries.
Yeah. That was gonna be my next question. Like so many parents, grandparents, family
Yes.
members, they think they're helping when people are in
No.
active addiction or just in recovery, and they end up setting everything back even worse. Because they
Enabling.
know there's that safety net.
Definitely enabling. Yeah, I mean it's and the way I see that is, they love their kids or they love their grandkids so much that they're not gonna correct them.
Yeah, they just want them to
They're
this life.
Yeah.
it's that it's that love that that's all you know how to show them.
Mingo's just tearing it back in the back.
Don't mind us.
Yeah.
Don't mind us,
Yeah,
Mingo.
Don't let us ruin your Head Start program stuff.
But I've seen it. I've seen it from both sides now. And I can't say once you find that peace, it's that thing that money can't buy. It's that good feeling that I feel like I deserve.
If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
Yes, definitely. That's a great statement. If it costs you your peace, it is way too expensive. I've lived in chaos for way too long. And I love being a grandpa. I love just being I love just being able to, allow my grandkids when they come over, that's all I can worry about and focus on is them. I feel like they deserve that.
Because they're the next generation.
Definitely.
They're healing. So we can't keep creating chaos
Mm,
and then expect them to heal from it.
no, definitely. Hang on, we're gonna let Mingo get
Yeah.
done.
Did you? I don't know if you guys heard it, but he was. They were like, "Oh, it's kind of loud in there," and then Mingo's like, "Well, yeah, they're going from sharing it to tearing it." He said it backwards, and so yeah. So if anybody wants to know, we're sharing it now. And
Yeah.
apparently, going to be tearing it later. But
Do we have any good comments?
you got your brother Drew saying good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
You got Cassandra Frazier saying
Miss
good afternoon.
Cassandra.
Mr. Albert Oldcrow.
Oh, hey, Uncle Albert.
Been sober since January 18th, 1986.
Wow, I was 6
Yeah.
years
We
old.
had our Hammond Hope Squad, our fifth
Mhm.
quarter, and Albert came out, and it was an amazing
Mhm.
night seeing everybody out there.
Yeah.
So I want to throw some love out to Albert Oldcrow for fifth quarter. He came to our class and spoke with Traditional Addiction on Friday. So
Okay.
he's out there
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Good deal.
No socks
yeah.
on and everything,
No
too.
socks.
Right. No
Well,
socks.
I didn't check his socks,
Yeah.
but I heard
You
that
just
he
know.
is wearing socks. So
That's
but
my
it's
Yeah.
cold. So
No, Concho changes a man.
his mom,
that's probably why it's socks.
Yeah.
his mom Clara, and my grandma were sisters. So we're pretty closely related. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always in the community. Remember he saw us in Oklahoma City at the recovery rally and then a few other events. Yeah, so he's going around spreading the word, doing good things.
You got any other comments?
Viola says 10 years of sobriety. Good
Wow.
afternoon.
Thank you
And
for sharing
then
that.
Nat says this is a great discussion. So glad you made it, Christina.
Oh,
Yeah, just Christina that made it. Yeah, the other two are just side
Yeah.
things going on.
we're just winging it.
Yeah, we're just winging it, listening to Mingo, just whatever he's doing.
Back there having his own discussion.
His own conversation. He's like these
His
guys
own
on
live.
the couch.
He's doing his own live back there.
He's trying not to laugh while on the phone.
Well, what else goes along with boundaries? What do you feel like would be like? What would be like a clue that maybe because like I heard before, you got to set boundaries with everyone. And me being an alcoholic addict, I'm always gonna push the envelope. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna see how far I can get away with something until someone says no. I mean,
Yeah. Move that line.
what line?
I can't see it. I don't have my magnifying
Yeah.
glass.
So I mean, I don't know. Like you were saying, it all starts with my peace.
And you have to know yourself. Like, this is a big question I ask people. It's like, well, how does your body feel? Like, when you're in that, how does your body feel? And recognize, like, your body will tell you
Yeah.
if something is not safe. Your body will tell you if you need to change something. Like, you have butterflies in your stomach, your hands are clammy, you have a headache. Even people that are in domestic violence relationships, they're
Yeah.
gaining weight, or they're using food as an addiction. So recognizing that those are not normal responses, and it's okay to get support and get help, but being able to recognize that means you know where your piece is. 'Cause
Definitely.
you can't recognize the bad if you don't know what the good and the stable is.
That's a good point.
Yeah, anytime you feel like any kind of discomfort, whether it's emotional or physical,
Yeah,
I think
awkwardness.
that's an indicator that there should be something stopping that. And then even setting your boundaries going to be uncomfortable because it's going to have to be you ruining somebody else's emotions or
Yeah.
how it feels. Because like a lot of people hate being told no, and so you telling somebody else no, it's going to feel awkward for you. Then they'll probably bring in some guilt or anything like that. But you have to, as Barry said, stick to your guns. You have to, stay strong, whether it's solo or you have somebody else by your side, just to maintain that peace in your household or in yourself. And yeah.
It's a good one. Sure, got one. What other word do you feel like goes with boundaries? I was just thinking about it, and then as I said that dumb comment a while ago, I forgot it. Nah, I can't even think
I
of
was
it.
gonna just sit here and wait for you to find out. what it
No,
was. I've just
no.
been sit in
Maybe
silence.
it's like a word wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mind map.
Boundaries,
A
yeah.
mind map.
Where's our mind map
Yeah.
at?
I know,
Where's
right?
the whiteboard?
Yeah. We got one way up there.
Oh, it's too
I wouldn't be able to
Next to
see it
Paul, though.
anyways. So.
Yeah.
It's back there just.
Support.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Domingo said support.
Yeah. Mingo's just yelling at the phone. I don't know.
Grounding, yes.
Yeah.
Duh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Grounding.
grounding this morning.
Grounding, exactly.
You know how many
Um,
people like just can't be still for 30 seconds? Like, it's like the hardest thing ever for people just to like
I'm one of those.
be still. I'm practicing. It's hard for me. Like, I'm all over the
You-
place.
Definitely. You hear her type.
Full on conversation
Yeah.
and typing. But I mean, finding that stillness and grounding 100%. I think that's where our peace begins.
Definitely. I think that it took, a lot of failures, to realize where I'm comfortable. I had to maybe try different things and figure out like, no, I don't like this. No, I don't like that. No, I don't have a good feeling when I do this. I don't like this awkwardness whenever I do. Like it. That's what it actually took for me to realize what actually makes me feel comfortable. And if one thing I've really noticed, like if I don't know one single person in the room, like I won't even say anything. You know what I mean? Like, but if I know all of y'all, I won't shut the hell up. Like.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's just so many different, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in the building was like, Barry, can you just be quiet when you're in here?
Give you a little,
How
little
many
word of
people
wisdom right
have
before
Who
you
said
enter.
that?
No, it's all love. It's all
Yeah.
love. To
Yeah,
It's the lights.
Yeah, it's delights.
it's the lighting in this building.
Yeah, yeah. Every office, hates all of tour for us
Yeah.
trying to brighten people's moods every day. You just get told to stay out.
Boundaries. Now they have boundaries.
Yeah. See, so we know on the other end that we don't like it, but we'll
Awkward.
respect it. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it was a good topic for today. And I like what it says in there about in the reflections book. It is, self-care. It is definitely self-care to set boundaries. And there's healthy boundaries, but then like I always think like what's an unhealthy boundary? Like what's an unhealthy boundary? Can you think of any?
I don't know, like people interrupting the live.
Yeah, I don't know what you just said because Mingo's trying to have a conversation with Carmelo. He's like, Carmelo,
He's
I
just
got
having
another vendor for the dance.
Yeah. He's just having a whole full on conversation back
He's having
there.
the time. He's
I
not used to
appreciate you
being
more
here
than
after 4, so that's why this is all new to him.
Yeah. Like, yeah, don't listen to these guys.
Yeah. Turning up his just turning up his phone volume. He's like, sorry, I can't hear. They're doing the live.
Very unhealthy boundary right there.
Yeah.
But coming from the world that I did, there's so many unhealthy boundaries that, if you're gonna steal from me, don't steal everything. You know what I mean? Like,
leave
you
me
can,
with something.
yeah. Leave me at least one beer.
Yeah, he's still
Leave me a
thinking of his
shot
phone
for
charger.
in the morning. Like there was definitely some unhealthy boundaries, and it is like almost like that grounding. That's where that grounding comes into play. Do you always feel like you're keeping yourself grounded?
So I will say, like, I have a very firm boundary with my own mom. So somebody put on here like gaslighting and toxic people. So growing up, my mom always used my brother and I as like, oh, I don't have any place to stay because I have my kids, and like she used us for financial housing, things like that. So I didn't want my kids growing up with a grandmother that used them, because I would be like, hey, can you watch the kids so I can go grocery shopping? Oh, if you bring me a pack of cigarettes and $20. Like they're your grandkids.
Yeah, they're like, that's what the cigarettes are for. It's their snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I had to set that boundary with my mom of you, like, you're not going to use my kids as a means to fuel your own addiction for the casino or smoking or whatever else that you are doing. So like I get really irritated speaking to my mom, because anytime like I have to, because I just know like she just sets me off every time because it's always something. But like that's like a full circle, make a new family and breaking
Yeah.
those generational curses of like, at the end of the day, it's okay to set that boundary with my mom, because she's not being toxic with my children, because she's not disrespecting me or using my children
Yeah.
to get at me or something else. So I don't know where the unhealthy boundary would be, but it took me a long time to get to that because I wanted to like people please her,
Hmm.
because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
always trying to prove myself to her. And now it's well, you think you're better than me, and you think that you can go out and like have this job, and you have your house, and you have your kids, and yeah, you know what, I do think I'm better than you. I do think I'm breaking things, and that's okay.
Yeah. That's a healthy boundary,
Yeah.
I could definitely see the conflict in that. You know, I yes, I can definitely see the conflict in, just trying to manage, you know, a healthy relationship, but her not willing to,
To heal.
yeah, not willing to heal. So that's a great example. You know, yeah, one of my things, I feel like me and my brother and my sisters was, my mom, she gets mad a lot. She gets real mad, that's always her first reaction, is she gets mad. And I can remember one time, it was like she said something that, um, I felt like was real selfish. Like it was about this funeral, and how like it she thought it was too, like she started complaining. And I just thought it was like really, really selfish. And I was pretty upset with her about it, for a while. For a while I was just like, like, I understand you get upset a lot, and but I just felt like it was completely out of line. And I didn't know how to tell her that. So what I did was I just got quiet for a long time. And eventually she knew exactly what I was upset about. So the next time we got to talk, which was months and months later, she apologized. And that was like a first, because it was she knew and we both, I'm pretty sure it made us both tear up, because it was just like this new thing
On both your ends.
on both of our
And for
ends.
you not to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And for her to recognize
Yeah.
she had to
Yeah.
apologize. So sometimes you have to do something out of the ordinary to
Yeah.
get out of the ordinary response.
And it definitely helped our relationship, that we were able to talk about it. Whereas before, I don't know, like it was just like this situation where, I didn't want to hear nothing negative, and then for some reason she just felt like she had to let me know, and it really hurt me. It really, really hurt me. And but luckily, she was able to recognize it, and I felt like things got a lot better after that. So I guess that's the best example I could give about, you know, setting a boundary. And I don't know if she would have never apologized. I really don't know how things would have, you know what I mean, how things would have went after that, because I was really hurt by that. So
I feel like we need to know
I know
a
Darian.
story.
He seemed
Yeah.
like one of those kids, like, "Where's my popping chips?"
No, 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 I think the easiest one I could remember for my boundaries, I was in second grade, so I was 7 years old. Uh, my mom just told me that she was gonna marry my stepdad at the time. I was like, I don't want that. And so that was me at 7 years old, like clearly stating that I didn't want her to marry this guy because of all the substance use he brought in and all this stuff. And like, so naturally she was like, but I love him. And so she followed through with it. But years and years later, after they got divorced, she like brought that up again, is that she knew that somehow I knew what a healthy relationship was at 7 years old. And I knew what it wasn't. And so she puts that in, like she wished she would have listened at that point. But I mean, I knew, you just had to go through life at the same time. And so having that like full circle moment of her acknowledging, my little self, saying my piece. And this was when she was doing her step work and everything. And so it was her amends and
Men's tour.
yeah, her amends tour. And so I was the first one on that list, I guess. And she still keeps trying to bring it up. I'm like, Mom, stop apologizing.
Like, I know I was right.
Yeah, yeah. I can only get told I was right so many times. You're inflating my ego. But yeah, like, and so I think that's one of the biggest things, was the boundary that I set early on. It was acknowledged, but not I don't even know how to, not
Well,
followed, I guess.
Like that hindsight's always 2020 though, right?
And so like even kids, they have boundaries. They know what's right and wrong. They know what makes them comfortable and uncomfortable. And so at all ages, if you're a parent or if you have, young relatives, or kids or friends with kids, I mean, just listen to those kids. Make sure you know their boundaries too, because they're human beings also.
Mhm.
And I think that's a big thing to have.
I think
Yeah.
kids have more intuition
Mhm.
and they're more aware of like their body and everything than we give them credit for,
Mhm.
because they understand when their body does not feel okay. It's like the
Mhm.
older we get, that the further away from ourselves we get.
Yeah, the more we tolerate.
Mhm.
And I know that with my girls, because like Ari will like try to like rub Zayla's back to make sure she's okay, and Zayla's like, stop. Like, so she clearly doesn't like it. And so like you can see that. And so it's just yeah, kids have their boundaries. Kids know a lot more than we do, I think. Because yeah, like we said, like we do tolerate a lot more the more we grow up, because I think the environment we were around told us to tolerate stuff, even
Yeah.
though we knew it wasn't right. But yeah,
Self-care.
yep,
Self-care.
self-care.
So we
Well,
need to be selfish.
I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like how this boundary conversation is like turning into a self-care type of thing,
Boundaries are self-care. Mhm. I know. Fun fact: if you line up my mom and my sister and me, we all have different last names. Uh, just a thing. Yeah.
Hey.
Just get it together, Mom. Pick one.
Hey, that's me and my brothers and sisters too. There were 6 of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's just
Yeah.
yeah. What's up with your moms?
Well, Brandon and Drew have the same one. And Eddie and
5
Tracer.
different- No, see that that's not everybody. I thought you were saying 6 different last
4 different last names for 6 kids.
names. Mhm. That's not as bad as
Yeah.
yeah. I thought it
Yeah. Well, healthy boundaries.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
No, as a matter of fact, whenever my daughter Leanna was born, Governor Keating, we were like, Oklahoma was the leading state in like divorce or something like that. Well, he came on and he was trying to make couples get married. So he made it, if you weren't married, then your kid couldn't get your last name. So she was born in, I think, 2000, maybe somewhere around there. And so her last name was Russell. And she was the only one out of my kids. All the rest are Botones, right? So, we're going to change it. Yeah, we're going to change it. Well, when she got old enough to go to school, me and her mom split up. And then her mom was like, hell no, you ain't changing that.
That's my baby.
Yeah. It almost made it seem like I didn't want her to have my last name. And I felt like it was kind of like jacked up, like for her mom not to let her be a Botone, but
Damn, she can still do it now.
well, now she's married.
She can still do it anyway.
Like, yeah, your husband has to change his name, last name.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a Botone now. So, but yeah, all my kids don't have my last name, but I the pappy. Well, how much more time do we got? Because I'm running out of.
Yeah, as much time as you want.
Oh,
See
well.
how we have no direction, and it just blossoms. Right?
Do we have any good comments
No.
come up? No mas.
Yeah, we got Carrie says healthy boundaries. He says I learned to work hard on myself, and I learned that me working my program will work if I make sure my fire is tended to, and if they see my fire grow strong, they will be warm to, and healthy boundaries as a work.
Oh, I like that.
John
Thank you,
Lee
Carrie.
said your bubble. I think that's when you're trying to figure out another word for boundary. And then Mingo Senior says I'll say everything. Mingo be in and out of everything at the same time.
And still not know what's going on.
And still not know what's going on. That's for sure. That's Mingo. He was hawking loogies in the trash can while you guys were talking. That was the trash box. So if nobody knows, we don't have trash cans in Twitter.
Yeah, we
we
have
have trash boxes. We get rid of everything.
Not in the budget.
at once. Yep. No bags. You just have cardboard boxes. I think that's always funny how Nat was talking about how everybody thinks we're some big old organization. And then she's like,
Fancy.
and then I came in and saw you guys have a trash box. Like, what the heck is a trash box? It's like, literally, it's the easiest thing ever. You just take it
Yeah.
out, throw it away. That's it. No waste. Well, all waste, I
You
should
guys
say.
are environmentalists.
Environmentalists,
We
absolutely.
went green.
Mhm. Yep. Why would we throw plastic bags in the trash? Cardboard
We
only.
can throw it in the cardboard box.
That's just Mingo's things. He's just talking about from sharing it to tearing it.
Where did he go?
Went to go get Suda.
He left?
30. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's on the
still
res. Remember, just a phone call away.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I have a work boundary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. She's gonna be done at 4:37.
some of us work around here.
no.
All right. I'm good.
It's the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting here and the
Oh
cold.
look, Janet's on. She said
Oh,
Lulu.
she's gonna be back tomorrow.
Oh yeah. See, she should
Yeah, we should have a
She said good morning.
2 kegger.
Yeah.
Yakit Janet. Itati Nakusech.
Maybe she'll bring the baby.
Hey, I know how to say Star Woman in Arapaho.
Hatha Hisse.
Hata Hisse.
Mhm.
So I just thought I'd share that real fast because that's her daughter's name. But in Cheyenne.
Yeah, don't know how to say whoa.
But that's
Yeah.
all I got.
It's easier to draw a star.
You should come back more often. This was fun, Christina.
We got Women's
You have
Wednesdays.
to ask me 3 times.
Yep.
Little Reggae Auntie. Will you come back? Will you come back? Will you come back?
Yeah. You can only ask me 3 times in 1 week.
Well, we ain't got to be back on until next Monday. So,
Well, I'm gonna be not here.
no.
Yeah, it's President's Day, remember?
Oh, yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah.
Women's Wednesday. That's the next opportunity.
I'll come on here with Kara and Tatum.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's
Alright.
all I got. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. We appreciate it. Like, share, follow. Tell your mammy about us.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I hope.